Lieutenant Commander Jack Nelson stood at the large window of the observation deck, watching the stars. His hands were behind his back, and his blue uniform was perfectly clean. The United Earth Defense Force had strict rules about appearances. Especially today. Today was the day aliens would arrive. After 200 years of sending signals into space, humanity finally got an answer. The Galactic Confederation, they called themselves. A group of over 300 alien species who worked together to explore the universe. They had been watching Earth for decades, waiting until humans were civilized enough for first contact. Jack wasn't sure if he should feel honored or insulted by that. Nervous, Lieutenant Commander? Jack turned to see Admiral Susan Hayes walking toward him. She was short but commanded respect with every step. "No, ma'am," Jack lied. "Just curious." Susan smiled. "We're all nervous, Nelson. First contact is a big deal. Just remember your training." The ship's computer announced, "Alien vessel approaching. All personnel to stations." The alien ship was beautiful. It looked like flowing water made of metal, with no hard edges. It was much smaller than the UES Discovery, the human ship where Jack and Susan stood. "Remember," Susan said quietly, "be polite, be careful, and don't make any sudden movements. We don't know what might scare them." Jack nodded. He had been chosen for this mission because of his calm personality and his knowledge of different cultures. No one knew what alien culture would be like, but Jack had studied every human culture on Earth. The leaders thought this would help. The aliens arrived in a small shuttle. When the door to the docking bay opened, Jack got his first look at beings. From another world, there were two of them. One was tall and thin with 4 arms and a body that reminded Jack of a praying mantis. It had large eyes and was covered in a hard green shell. The other was shorter, blue-skinned, with tentacles for hair and only 3 fingers on each hand. Both aliens wore what looked like special suits with blinking lights and tubes. "Exosuits," Susan whispered to Jack. "They must need help to breathe." "Our air." Jack stepped forward and bowed slightly. "Welcome to the UES Discovery. I am Lieutenant Commander Jack Nelson, and this is Admiral Susan Hayes. We represent Earth and humanity." The taller alien made a series of clicking sounds, and then a small device on its suit translated, "I am Ambassador Zilthorn of the Arachnid Collective. This is Science Officer Kilara of the Centauran Republic. We come on behalf of the Galactic Confederation." Jack noticed that both aliens moved slowly and seemed to struggle with each step. "Are you comfortable?" Jack asked. "Can we adjust our ship's environment to help you?" Kilara, the blue alien, spoke in a musical voice that the translator turned into English. "Your gravity is difficult for us, and your oxygen levels are very high, but our suits will help us manage." Susan invited the aliens to the meeting room, where drinks and food had been prepared for many different possible dietary needs. As they walked, Zilthorn spoke. "We must explain why we are here. The Confederation has a system for ranking planets. Class 1 planets are paradise worlds, perfect temperature, low gravity, calm weather. Class 12 planets are what we call Deathworlds, extreme heat or cold, high gravity, dangerous storms, aggressive life forms." Jack nodded, wondering where this was going. "Earth," Kilara continued, "does not fit our system. It is too extreme. We have temporarily classified it as Class 13. This is new. We did not think intelligent life could evolve in such conditions." Jack and Susan exchanged looks. "What makes Earth so dangerous?" Susan asked. Zilthorn's large eyes blinked rapidly. "Everything. Your gravity is 2.3 times what most intelligent species evolve in. Your oxygen levels would be toxic to 82% of Confederation species. Your temperature variations are extreme. Your planet has thousands of predator species. You have bacteria and viruses everywhere. Your weather includes storms that can destroy cities. Even your plant life can be poisonous." Jack tried not to smile. To him, Earth was just home. "And yet," Kilara added, sounding almost impressed, "your species not only survived but built an advanced civilization." "This is why we are here. We need to understand how." And we need to determine if Earth should actually be Class 14. What's Class 14? Jack asked. A theoretical category, Zilphone explained, for planets too dangerous for any contact at all. The meeting room was silent for a moment. Susan cleared her throat. Well, we're happy to show you Earth. Lieutenant Commander Nelson will be your guide. He has visited every continent and can show you the diversity of our world. Jack nodded, though. Inside he felt a new pressure. He wasn't just showing aliens around anymore. He was defending Earth's right to join the galactic community, later. As Jack showed the aliens to their quarters, Kilara asked, "Does it not frighten you, living on such a dangerous world?" Jack thought about it. "I've never known anything else. Earth is just home to us. Yes, we have storms and earthquakes and dangerous animals, but we've learned to live with them. We build stronger houses, we make medicines. We adapt. Adapt," Zilthorn repeated the word as if it was new to him. "Yes, your species is remarkably adaptable, perhaps too adaptable." Jack wasn't sure if that was a compliment or a warning. That night, Jack couldn't sleep. He looked out his window at Earth below. The blue planet spun slowly, clouds swirling over oceans and continents. It was beautiful to him. Was it really so terrible to others? His communication device beeped. It was Admiral Hayes. "Nelson, I just got more information about this evaluation," she said, her voice tense. "If Earth is classified as Class 14, the Confederation might restrict our space travel. They might even put monitoring satellites around our planet to make sure we don't leave our solar system." Jack felt a chill. "They can't do that. We've already sent people to Mars and Europa." "They think they can," Susan said. "They have technology we can only dream of. Your job just got more important, Nelson. Show them we're not a threat. Show them Earth isn't just a death world. It's our home, and it made us who we are." Jack looked back at Earth. Tomorrow he would take the aliens down to the surface. Tomorrow he would begin to show them what humanity was really like. Tomorrow he would begin to change their minds. He had to. The future of humanity might depend on it. The shuttle descended through Earth's atmosphere. Jack watched as the aliens pressed themselves deeper into their seats. Every bump of turbulence made Zilthorn's forearms grip the safety handles tighter. Kilara's blue skin had turned a pale shade, and her tentacle hair moved nervously. "Just some air movement," Jack said with a smile. "Completely normal." "Normal for Earth," Kilara said quietly. They landed in what was once called Denver. Now the headquarters of the North American Confederation. The landing pad was on top of a tall building, and a woman with curly red hair waited for them. "Dr. Olivia Grant," she introduced herself as they stepped off the shuttle. "Earth's leading xenobiologist." She smiled at the aliens. "Though until now I've had no actual aliens to study." Jack could see the excitement in Olivia's eyes. She had spent her life wondering what aliens might be like. Now she was meeting them. The aliens stepped carefully onto Earth's soil for the first time. Zilthorn's suit made a whirring sound as it adjusted to the gravity. Kilara took a deep breath through her suit's filters and looked around at the city. "Your buildings are very solid," she said. "They need to be," Olivia explained. "We have earthquakes, high winds, snow in the winter. Buildings that can't stand up to Earth's conditions don't last long." Jack followed the plan they had made. First, show the aliens the safest parts of Earth, the clean, controlled environments of major cities. Then slowly introduce them to more natural areas. They visited a shopping center. The aliens were amazed by the variety of foods humans ate. They watched children playing in a park. "They fall down and get up again," Zilthorn observed as a small boy tripped, cried for a moment, then returned to playing. "No serious injury? Kids are pretty tough," Jack said. "They heal quickly." "On my world," Kilara said, "a fall like that could break bones. Our gravity is much less than yours." They spent the night in a hotel. The next morning they boarded a larger shuttle. Jack had decided to show them 3 very different Earth environments in one day. Mountains, desert, and rainforest. First, they flew to the Rocky Mountains. The aliens stood at a lookout point, staring at the snow-capped peaks and deep valleys. The Air is thinner here, Jack explained. Less oxygen. We notice, Zilthorn said. His suit was working harder, and yet humans live here? People live all over Earth, Olivia said. We adapt to different conditions. Some people who grow up in high mountains develop larger lungs naturally. Next, they flew to the Sahara Desert. The heat was intense, and the landscape seemed empty at first glance. This temperature would kill many species in the Confederation, Hilara said, checking readings on her suit. How do you survive here? Jack pointed to a small village in the distance. People have lived in deserts for thousands of years. They build homes that stay cool. They know where to find water. They understand the land. Zilthorn moved closer to a small cactus plant. Even your plants have defense systems, he noted. Touching one of the spines carefully by late afternoon, they had reached the Amazon rainforest. The colors and sounds were overwhelming after the quiet desert. Birds called from the trees. Insects buzzed around them. Plants grew everywhere, climbing over each other to reach the sunlight. So much life, Kilara whispered. So many species. In one place. The Amazon has more different species than anywhere else on Earth, Olivia said proudly. Some we haven't even discovered yet. And are they all dangerous? Zilthorn asked, stepping back as a butterfly landed on a flower near him. Jack laughed. No, the butterfly is harmless. But yes, there are dangerous things here. Poisonous frogs, snakes, jaguars, but they usually avoid humans. As they walked along a path, the sky grew dark. Jack looked up through the trees. We should head back. To the shuttle, there's a storm coming. They had only gone a short distance when the rain began. It came suddenly and heavily, pouring through the tree branches. Thunder boomed overhead and lightning flashed. The aliens moved quickly, but the path had turned to mud. Kilara slipped, and Jack reached out to catch her. At the same moment, a branch broke from a tree above them. Without thinking, Jack pulled Kilara aside and blocked the branch with his arm. It hit him hard, but he stayed standing. Are you okay? He asked Kilara. She stared at him with wide eyes. You are injured to protect me? Jack looked at his arm. There was a small cut, but nothing serious. It's just a scratch. Come on, we need to get out of this storm. Then made it back to the shuttle. As they dried off, Zilthorn studied Jack's arm. Your blood is red, iron-based. Yes, Olivia confirmed. Is yours different? Mine is blue, copper-based, Zilthorn said. Kilara S species has green blood, different chemistry. That night, they stayed in a research station near the edge of the rainforest. The storm continued outside, rain hitting the roof and windows. Jack checked the weather reports. The storm would pass by morning. He was about to go to his room when he heard the aliens talking. They didn't know he was nearby. This planet should be classified as Class 14, Zilthorn was saying. The conditions are too extreme, the life forms too aggressive. But the humans, Kilara said, they are not what we expected. They are not aggressive toward us. It is not about their behavior now, Zilthorn argued. It is about what they could become. A species that evolves on a Deathworld develops differently. They become stronger, more aggressive, more adaptable. Imagine humans with our technology. Imagine them on other worlds. Jack stood very still, listening. You saw how the human Nelson reacted in the forest, Kilara said. He protected me. He put himself in danger for someone he just met. Someone not even of his species? Perhaps, Zilthorn admitted. But one human does not represent all humans. We must be careful. The Confederation has rules for a reason. Jack walked away quietly. He had heard enough. The aliens were afraid of humans, not because of what they had done, but because of what they might do. Because Earth had made them strong, he needed to show them that Earth's challenges had not just made humans strong. They had also made humans kind. The question was how. As the storm raged outside, Jack made a new plan. Tomorrow they would go somewhere else. Somewhere that would show the aliens what humanity was really like. He just hoped it would be enough to change their minds. Morning came with clear skies. The storm had passed. Jack met with Olivia before the aliens woke up. We need to change our plan, he said quietly. I heard them talking last night. They're considering making Earth a Class 14 planet. That would cut us off from the rest of the galaxy. Olivia's eyes widened. Because they think we're dangerous? They think our planet made us too strong, too adaptable. They're afraid of what we might do with advanced technology. Olivia thought for a moment. So we need to show them that living on a harsh world didn't just make us strong. It made us better in other ways too. Jack nodded. Exactly, I've changed. Today's plan. We're going to the Pacific Ocean. There's a small island where scientists study marine life. It's beautiful and peaceful. The new day started well. The aliens seemed more relaxed after a night of rest. The shuttle took off smoothly, heading west toward the Pacific. Your world has so much water, Kilara said, looking down at the vast ocean below them. About 70% of our surface is water, Jack explained. The oceans are home to millions of species. Are they all dangerous too? Zilthorn asked. Jack smiled. Some are, but most just want to be left alone. Suddenly a red light flashed on the shuttle's control panel. An alarm sounded. The pilot turned to Jack with a worried look. Engine failure, the pilot said. We're losing power. Jack felt his heart beat faster, but he stayed calm. Can we make it back to land? The pilot shook his head. No, we need to. Land now? There's a small island about 2 miles ahead. It's our best chance. Jack turned to the aliens. Strap in tightly. We need to make an emergency landing. The aliens looked terrified, but did as they were told. Zilthorn's 4 arms gripped the seat. Kilara closed her eyes. The shuttle descended rapidly. The pilot fought to keep it level. They could see the island now, a small green spot in the blue ocean. The shuttle shook violently as it got closer to the water. Brace for impact. The pilot shouted. The shuttle hit the water about 100 yards from the island's shore. The impact was hard, but the shuttle stayed together. Water began to leak in slowly. Everyone out, Jack ordered. The shuttle will sink soon. They grabbed emergency packs and exited through the top hatch. The water was warm but choppy with waves. Jack helped Kilara, who couldn't swim well in her exosuit. Olivia assisted Zilthorn. The pilot carried the emergency radio. They made it. To the shore, wet and tired but alive. The island was small, maybe a mile across, with a beach, some rocks, and a forest of palm trees. Is everyone okay? Jack asked, checking each person. The pilot had a cut on his head but said he was fine. Olivia was catching her breath. The aliens were the worst off. Their exosuits had taken in water and were not working properly. Our suits filter the air, Zilthorn explained, his voice shaky. Without them, your atmosphere is toxic to us. How long will the backup systems last? Jack asked. Maybe a day, Kilara said. Then we will need help. The pilot tried the emergency radio, but it was damaged in the crash. I can't contact anyone, he said. But they'll know we're missing. They'll send search parties. Jack nodded. So we need to survive until they find us. First we need shelter, then fresh water, then food. He looked at the aliens. Their species had never needed to survive in the wild. They had evolved on safer worlds and built technology to protect themselves. Now that technology was failing. I'll show you what to do, Jack said. Humans have been surviving on Earth for thousands of years. They moved away from the beach into the shade of the palm trees. Jack showed them how to build a simple shelter using branches and large leaves. Olivia found a small stream of fresh water flowing from the center of the island to the sea. The water should be safe to drink, she said. But we should boil it first to be sure. Jack made a fire using the emergency kit from the shuttle. The aliens watched with interest as the flames grew. Fire, Kilara said softly. It is seen as very dangerous on my world. Few species use it. Humans have used fire for over 1 million years, Jack explained. It keeps us warm, cooks our food, purifies water, keeps predators away. Fire is dangerous, yes, but it's also a tool. As night fell, they sat around the fire. The pilot had found some fruit in the trees that Olivia identified as safe to eat. They had water. They had shelter. They would survive, but during the night, Kilara became sick. Her exosuit had failed completely, and Earth's oxygen was affecting her badly. She shivered and could barely speak. "She needs help," Zilthorn said, his voice worried. "Her species cannot process this much oxygen." Olivia examined Kilara carefully. "There are plants that might help," she said. "Plants that reduce oxygen absorption. You know this?" Zilthorn asked, surprised. "I'm a xenobiologist," Olivia said. "I study how different life forms might work. Your biology is different from ours, but some principles are the same." Olivia and Jack searched the island in the dark. They found the plants Olivia thought might help. She crushed the leaves and made a paste. "This might make her more comfortable until rescue comes," Olivia said, giving the paste to Kilara. By morning, Kilara was better, not well, but better. She looked at Olivia with new respect. "You helped me," she said. "With just plants and knowledge. That's what humans do," Jack said. "We help each other, we solve problems, we adapt." Zilthorn had been watching them all night. Now he spoke. "I begin to understand. Your dangerous world did not just make you strong. It taught you to work together, to think quickly, to use what you have." "Yes," Olivia said. "Living on Earth means facing challenges every day. We survive because we help each other." A sound came from above, a rescue shuttle. They had been found. As the rescue team landed on the beach, Jack looked at the aliens. They had experienced Earth without their technology. They had been vulnerable. And they had survived with human help. Maybe now they would understand. Earth was dangerous, yes. But it had made humans who they were. Not just strong, but resourceful. Not just survivors, but helpers. The question was, would it be enough to change the aliens' minds about Earth's classification? 1 week after the island rescue, Jack found himself in a very different place. He stood in a large round room on the Galactic Confederation's main space station. The gravity was lighter here, set to the average preferred by most alien species. Jack felt like he could jump 10 feet high if he tried. The space station orbited a planet that Zilthorn had called a Class 3 world, comfortable, safe, and predictable. Looking through the window, Jack saw a planet with small oceans, gentle hills, and no visible storms or volcanoes. It looked peaceful. It looked boring. Admiral Susan Hayes stood beside Jack. They wore their best uniforms for this important meeting. Olivia was there too, ready to explain the science of Earth if needed. "Remember," Susan whispered, "this is about more than just making friends. This is about Earth's future in the galaxy." Jack nodded. He knew the stakes. If Earth was classified as a Class 14 planet, humans would be isolated. No sharing of technology. No joining the Confederation. No traveling to other star systems. The room filled with aliens of many different species. Some looked almost human. Others were completely different, floating gas creatures. Beings made of crystal, things Jack couldn't even describe. At the center of the room was a raised platform where the Confederation Council sat. 12 aliens, each from a different species, who made decisions for the entire Confederation. Zilthorn and Kilara entered the room. They looked better now, back in their own environments with working exosuits. They nodded to Jack but took seats on the other side of the room. The head of the council, a tall being with golden skin and 6 eyes, called the meeting to order. "We are here to decide the classification of the planet Earth," the council head said. "Our initial assessment placed Earth in Class 13, but there is a proposal to reclassify it as Class 14. Ambassador Zilthorn, please present your findings." Zilthorn stood and walked to the center of the room. Jack held his breath. "Honored Council," Zilthorn began, "Earth is unlike any planet we have encountered. Its gravity is extreme, its weather is violent, its plants and animals are aggressive. By all standard measures, it should be classified as Class 14, too dangerous for regular contact." Jack felt his hopes sink. After everything, Zilthorn was still recommending Class 14. However, Zilthorn continued, standard measures may not apply in this case. The humans have not just survived on their Deathworld. They have created art, music, science. They have built cities. They have gone to space using their own technology. The room was silent, everyone was listening carefully. During our evaluation, Science Officer Kilara and I experienced Earth's conditions directly. When our shuttle crashed, when our technology failed, we were exposed to Earth as it truly is. Zilthorn turned to look at Jack and Olivia. We should have died. By all Confederation knowledge, no intelligent species should be able to survive on Earth without advanced protection. Yet humans do it every day. And when we could not survive, they helped us. They used their knowledge of their harsh world to keep us alive. Kilara stood now too. The humans made medicine from plants when I was sick. They built shelter with their hands. They found fresh water and safe food on a strange island. These are not the actions of a dangerous species. These are the actions of a species that has learned to live in harmony with a dangerous world. Whispers spread through the room. Jack saw some aliens nodding. Others looked skeptical. The council head spoke. "What are you suggesting, Ambassador?" "I suggest," Zilthorn said, "that Earth should indeed be reclassified. Not as Class 14, but as something new. A Class 13 world that has produced a species worthy of Confederation membership." More whispers. Louder now, Admiral Hayes stepped forward. "If I may address the council." The council head nodded. "The Confederation ranks planets by their danger." Susan said, "I understand that. But I think you're missing something important. Earth isn't just dangerous, it's also beautiful. It has oceans and mountains and deserts and rainforests. It has millions of different species living together. Its very challenge is what made humans what we are." Susan gestured to the window. "To the calm planet outside, your worlds are safe, that's good. But Earth taught humans to be adaptable, to solve problems, to work together, to care for those who need help. Would your species have developed those traits on a world that never challenged you?" The council was silent, thinking. Finally, a small alien with green fur spoke. "Admiral Hayes makes a good point. Different worlds create different species with different strengths. Perhaps the Confederation needs species like humans. Species that know how to survive challenges. Species that can teach us new ways to solve problems." The council head looked around the room. "This is a complex issue. We will need time to discuss it fully. For now, Earth will remain Class 13, but with a special note that its native species has shown exceptional qualities. We will make our final decision in one standard month." The meeting ended. Jack, Susan, and Olivia left the room, not sure if they had won or lost. In the hallway, Kilara approached them. "That went better than expected," she said. "Many on the council were impressed by what you did for us on the island." "Will it be enough?" Jack asked. "I don't know," Kilara admitted. "But there is something else you should know. Something I learned while researching for this meeting." She looked around to make sure no one was listening. Earth is not the only Class 13 world the Confederation has found. There are 3 others with developing intelligent life. The Council has been watching them, unsure what to do. "Other death worlds with intelligent life?" Olivia asked, surprised. Kilara nodded. "All similar to Earth in different ways. All producing species that are strong, adaptable, and advancing quickly." "Why are you telling us this?" Susan asked. "Because," Kilara said, "the Council fears what might happen if Deathworld species meet each other. They fear you might join together." Jack thought about this. "Other species like humans. Other worlds like Earth. Other people who knew what it was like to evolve on a dangerous planet. They're afraid we'll be stronger together," he said. "Yes," Kilara replied. "But I think they should be more afraid of keeping you apart. Of treating you as dangerous just because your world is dangerous. That would create the very problem they fear." Jack looked out a window at the stars. Somewhere out there were other death worlds. Other species facing the same judgment from the Confederation. The same fear and misunderstanding. "So what happens now?" he asked. "Now," Kilara said, "we wait for the Council's decision. But whatever they decide, Earth is not alone in the galaxy. Remember that." As Jack looked at the distant stars, he felt a new sense of purpose. It wasn't just about Earth anymore. It was about all Deathworld species and their place in the galaxy. It was about showing the Confederation that being different wasn't the same as being dangerous. 1 month. They had 1 month to change the Council's mind not just about Earth, but about what it meant to come from a Deathworld. 1 month passed quickly. Jack spent most of it on the Confederation space station, learning about alien cultures and teaching them about Earth. Olivia worked with alien scientists, sharing knowledge about Earth's complex ecosystems. Admiral Hayes met with Confederation leaders, discussing what Earth could offer the galactic community. Today was the day of the final decision. Jack stood once again in the large council chamber. This time, more humans were present. Earth's top scientists, leaders, and military officers had traveled to the station to hear the council's verdict. The room felt tense. Everyone knew what was at stake. If Earth was classified as Class 14, humans would be isolated from the galaxy, possibly for centuries. The Council has made its decision, the golden-skinned head announced. After careful consideration of all evidence, we have decided to create a new classification for Earth. Jack held his breath. A new classification? What did that mean? Earth will be designated as a Class 1-3 world, the Council head continued. This new category recognizes planets that are objectively dangerous but have produced intelligent species, with beneficial traits due to their evolutionary challenges. Whispers filled the room. Some aliens looked upset. Others seemed pleased. Furthermore, the Council had said, humanity is granted provisional membership in the Galactic Confederation, with full rights to be earned over the next 10 Earth years. Admiral Hayes smiled. It was the best outcome they could have hoped. However, the Council had added, there are conditions. Humans must demonstrate peaceful intentions. They must accept Confederation guidelines for technology development, and they must agree to supervise contact with other Deathworld species. So they would get to meet the other species from worlds like Earth. Jack looked at Kilara, who gave him a small nod. She had helped make this happen. After the formal announcement, there was a celebration. Aliens and humans mingled, talking about future cooperation. Jack found himself standing with Zilthorn near a large window overlooking the stars. You changed your mind about us, Jack said. Why? Zilthorn's large eyes blinked slowly. The crash changed everything. When our technology failed, you did not abandon us. You did not take advantage of our weakness. You helped us survive conditions that should have killed us. That's just what humans do, Jack said. Exactly, Zilthorn replied. What comes naturally to you? Adapting, solving problems, helping others survive. These are rare traits in the galaxy. Most species rely on technology and controlled environments. Few can do what humans do instinctively. Jack looked out at the stars. So what happens now? Now, Zilthorn said, you become part of something larger. The Confederation needs species like yours. And there is something else you should know. Zilthorn lowered his voice. The Council has decided to make contact with the other Deathworld species. You will be part of that process. Jack was surprised. Us? Why? Because you understand what it means to come from a Deathworld. You can help these species join the Confederation without fear or misunderstanding. Later that evening, Admiral Hayes found Jack. She looked pleased but serious. Lieutenant Commander Nelson, she said formally, I have new orders for you. Yes, Admiral? You are being promoted to Commander. You will lead Earth's first contact team for other Deathworld species. Jack was stunned. Me? But I'm not a diplomat or a scientist. Hayes smiled. No, but you understand both humans and aliens. You showed Zilthorn and Kilara that humans are more than just survivors of a dangerous world. Now you'll do the same for others. The next day, Jack met with Olivia and his new team. They gathered in a small meeting room where Kilara showed them images of 3 planets. These are the other Class 13 worlds we know of, she explained. Each has intelligent life at different stages of development. The first planet looked like a darker version of Earth, with huge oceans and small continents. This is Maris, Kilara said. Its gravity is 1.5 times Earth's. Its intelligent species lives mostly underwater but is beginning to build structures. On land, the second planet had swirling storms covering most of its surface. This is Tempestus. Constant storms but rich in rare minerals. Its species has evolved to harness electrical energy directly. The third planet glowed with a red light. This is Ignatius. Surface temperatures are extremely high. Its intelligent species lives in underground cities and has developed advanced heat-resistant technology. Jack studied the images. 3 worlds, each dangerous in its own way. Each with a species that had adapted and survived just like humans. When do we leave? He asked. In 1 Earth month, Kilara answered. We will visit Maris first, as its species is most similar to humans biologically. Olivia looked excited. 3 new intelligent species to study. This is amazing. It's more than that, Jack said. It's a chance to build something new. A group of species who understand what it means to fight for survival every day, who know how to adapt and overcome challenges. Admiral Hayes nodded. The Confederation fears what Deathworld species might do together. Let's show them instead what we can do for the galaxy together. 1 month later, Jack stood on the bridge of a new ship. It was built by the Confederation but had been given to Earth as a gesture of trust. The U's Unity was faster and more advanced than any ship humans had built before. Jack's team was ready. Olivia and other scientists, diplomats, security officers, all trained to represent Earth to another Deathworld species. Zilthorn and Kilara were coming too, as Confederation observers. They stood beside Jack as the ship prepared to leave. Are you nervous? Kilara asked. A little, Jack admitted. Meeting you was challenging enough. Now, we're meeting a species that evolved underwater on a high-gravity world. You will do well? Zilthorn said. Deathworlders understand each other. As the ship moved away from the space station, Jack looked back at Earth through a viewing window. From space, it was beautiful, blue oceans, white clouds, green and brown land. It didn't look dangerous from here. It looked like home. Class 1-3A, he said quietly. Not just a death world, a birthplace of something special. The ship's engines powered up. The stars stretched into lines of light as they entered faster than light travel. Earth disappeared from view, but Jack carried it with him, its lessons, its strength, its ability to create people who never gave up. Ahead lay new worlds and new species who understood what it meant to evolve on a dangerous planet. Not just survivors, but innovators. Not just strong, but adaptable. The galaxy was about to learn what Deathworlders could do together, and Jack couldn't wait to find out.